In this video, you're going to learn how to test some material on the laser cutter. We have our plywood material and I'm going to place it in the machine. So I open up the door so that way it stays. I make sure that the honeycomb tray doesn't have any other material on it. And then I will place my material in the center. I want to take care that it's not too far over to one side or the other. When I place it, it looks fairly even, and I can shut the door and go back to my computer. So to get started, we will open up our Internet Explorer, go to app.glowforge.com, and we'll sign in to the Sturbridge Project's guest account. We will go to New Design, Create, and New Blank Design. And I've already measured the material, so I'll click on Unknown in the top left-hand corner, and then Use Uncertified Material, and I'll type in the thickness. I determined it to be about 5/32. I found out later using my calipers that it was closer to 3/16, but as long as you're within a 1/16 of an inch, you should be fine. And because I'm bad at math, I like to get out my calculator just to make sure that I put in the proper size. So I will now create a small circle that I can use as my test cut. This one is a little bit too big, so I'll shrink it to about the size of a 1/2 inch. It doesn't matter too much, but I'll put it in the corner of my material, and I'll click on my circle, click cut, and then create manual settings. I'll start with something pretty simple, a power of 50 and a speed that's about a little lower than middle, say about 200. We'll keep it at one pass and we'll keep the focus height at 5/32, and we'll hit print. Now, since this is the first time I'm printing from the Sturbridge account, it'll ask me a couple questions and make sure I understand what I'm getting into and using an uncertified material. When our piece is ready to be cut out on the laser cutter, the button on the front of the laser cutter will be glowing white, as you can see here. We will press it and the machine will get started. Our test cut has finished. The machine has cooled down, so we can open the door and test to see if this was enough power to cut out our circle. I'm tapping on it and it doesn't seem to be coming out, so we're going to rerun this at a higher power and a lower speed. I'm back in the Glowforge app and I up my power to 70 and I rerun the piece. Now my test circle still doesn't cut out, so I go back into the Glowforge app, up my power again, and decrease my speed. And I do this a few more times to try to find the perfect settings. I'm pretty deliberate about it, and I don't go too fast or change my settings too high, just so that way I don't char my material. Eventually I settle on a power of 90 and a speed of 140. And let's see how that looks. Alright, this one looks like it has cut out. If I touch it, I can feel it moving slightly, and so I can lift up my material and I see that it pops out very cleanly, and we know that this was a successful test. Now we'll try engraving. To set up our engraving, we will click on, we'll first move our circle, and then we will click on it, click back, and change it from cut to engrave. We'll click on manual, and we will set the power to be, well, maybe 50 or I'll actually end up changing it to 75 and having the speed be 750. We'll double check that the lines per inch are at something reasonable. 225 is fine, and then we will hit print. Alright, let's see how our engraving turned out. It is a little dark, so I might rerun that once just in case. I really should have gone with my gut instinct. I changed the power from 75 back to 50, and I moved my circle up one so it can etch in a new area, and then I hit print and run it again. Alright, that looks pretty nice to me. It's not too charred, but it's a definite difference in the color of the plywood. So we'll call those settings good.